All right, for the one and only Ivan today, we're ready to look at the chapter The Promise on page 111. It's actually the last chapter in this group of chapters.
That was a short chapter.
It's, yes, compared to some of the others. All right, so The Promise. My domain gleams with moonlight when I awake to the sound of Stella's calls. Ivan, Stella says in a hoarse whisper. Ivan. I'm here, Stella. I sit up abruptly, and Bob topples off my stomach. I run to a window. I can see Ruby next to Stella, sleeping soundly. Ivan, I want you to promise me something, Stella says. Anything, I say. I've never asked for a promise before, because promises are forever, and forever is an unusually long time, especially when you're in a cage. Domain, I correct. Domain, she agrees. I straighten to my full height. I promise, Stella, I say in a voice like my father's. But you haven't even heard what I'm asking yet, she says, and she closes her eyes for a moment. Her great chest shudders. I promise anyway. Stella doesn't say anything for a long time. Never mind, she says, or she finally says. I don't know what I was thinking. The pain is making me addled. Ruby stirs. Her trunk moves as if she's reaching for something that isn't there. When I say the words, they surprise me. You want me to take care of Ruby? Stella nods, a small gesture that makes her wince. If she could have a life that's different from mine. She needs a safe place, Ivan. Not here, I say. It would be easier to promise to stop eating, to stop breathing, to stop being a gorilla. I promise, Stella, I say. I promise it on my word as a silverback. What's happening with Stella?
She's gonna die soon.
Yes, she's going to die soon. And she's worried about whom?
Ruby.
She's worried about Ruby. And so, does Ivan know what Stella was going to ask?
Yeah.
What promise she wanted Ivan to make? Yeah, so he stepped right up because he had that feeling, he had that intuition, and he just offered to do it. Okay, you're going to go into your reading Google Classroom. We have it in our packet, but I thought I would change it up a little bit. Noah, this is in your regular classroom, but do you see in your reading Google Classroom that it says chapters 42 through 48, the one and only Ivan?
Mm-hmm.
Open that up and then get those Google Slides opened up as well. It looks just like your paper, right? Except you're not writing with a pencil. You're going to type your answers in. Okay, so go ahead then and on the quick write, kind of wake up the text box, get rid of add your text here, and then let's take a look at this quick write. In your opinion, what makes a good parent? So you're going to type in, just put your hands on your lap for right now. You're going to type in what you think makes a good parent. Then you're going to answer what is a parent supposed to do for his or her child? You're going to explain why you wrote both of those answers. So what makes a good parent? You're going to tell what makes a good parent and why you think that. Then you're going to answer that next question. What is a parent supposed to do for his or her child? Answer that question and then tell why you think a parent is supposed to do that. Questions? Okay. Down here, you can use your vocabulary packet. It is probably going to help you find the synonym. A synonym is a word that means the
Same.
Okay. So you're going to find if intently means thinking, fascinated, confused, or with concentration, contemplating, mesmerized, and addled. Oh, we just read that one today. Stella used that word. Okay. Look at the fill in the blank. Let me make this bigger. Fill in the blank. 1. Ruby asks Ivan to tell her. Might have to look back in through. Think about what Ruby asks him to tell her. 2. Ruby tells Ivan a story about. Do you remember that story she told them about in these chapters? Okay, so you're going to type what the story was that she told him about. Hands in your laps. 3. Ruby thinks that humans are, because it's not what Bob was thinking, right? She had a different thought. So find where it talks about that story, where it tells us about that story to help you out with that. 4. Business starts picking up. They're talking about at the mall. Do you remember why business started picking up? You're going to type the answer in there. 5. Ivan is worried because. Do you know why Ivan is worried?
Yeah.
We were just reading about it, right? Because things are going to start changing, aren't they? But what specifically is he worried about? And then we'll talk about theme and analysis as a whole group. So you're going to complete quick write, vocabulary, fill in the blank. If you want to sit around the room, that's fine. Okay, there's another slide, but we aren't going to go on to that yet. You're just going to complete this top 75% of the slide. Okay, we'll talk about this bottom one all together. Any questions? None? All right, I'm going to give, yes.
Can we turn it in?
No, because there's another slide. We're just completing part of this. Okay? Any other questions? All right, you may sit around the room.